A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant legal development, the U.S. Supreme Court has intervened in the ongoing debate surrounding the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, allowing the Trump administration to temporarily withhold approximately $4 billion intended for food aid for 42 million low-income Americans. This decision comes amid the backdrop of a federal government shutdown that has left many vulnerable families in uncertainty regarding their food security. The Supreme Court's action, termed an administrative stay, grants the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals additional time to deliberate on the administration's request to only partially fund SNAP for the month of November. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who oversees emergency applications from the First Circuit, issued the stay, which is set to expire in 2 days. This legal maneuver follows an emergency request filed by the Trump administration, seeking to pause a lower court's order mandating full funding of SNAP by the end of the day Friday. Earlier that day, the Court of Appeals had denied the administration's request for an administrative stay, prompting the urgent appeal to the Supreme Court. As the legal battle unfolded, at least 9 states had already begun issuing SNAP benefits under guidance from the federal agency managing the program. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, informed states that it was working toward ensuring full November SNAP benefits were available. The USDA's letter indicated that processes were underway to make necessary funds accessible for the full issuance of benefits. Local governments and nonprofit organizations had previously urged the Court of Appeals to uphold an order requiring the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits during the ongoing shutdown. The administration, however, argued that it needed to reserve funds for child nutrition programs, specifically the Women, Infants, and Children (WIC) program. The crux of the legal dispute lies in whether a federal judge can compel the government to allocate $4 billion from Section 32 of the Agricultural Adjustment Act Amendment of 1935 to support SNAP benefits for November. Solicitor General John Sauer, in his appeal to the Supreme Court, expressed concerns over potential irreparable harm if the orders were enforced, stating, "Given the imminent, irreparable harms posed by these orders, which require the government to transfer an estimated $4 billion by tonight, the Solicitor General respectfully requests an immediate administrative stay of the orders pending the resolution of this application." In response to the appeals court's decision, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi criticized the ruling as an example of judicial activism at its worst, asserting that a single district court should not dictate how federal funds are allocated during a government shutdown. The Trump administration contended that utilizing Section 32 funds for SNAP would compromise WIC programs, framing the situation as a choice between 2 critical safety net programs. The administration's court filing argued that if beneficiaries of mandatory spending programs could compel the government to transfer funds from other areas, it would lead to a chaotic and unmanageable system. On the other hand, the groups advocating for SNAP benefits countered the administration's claims, asserting that there are sufficient remaining funds to cover both WIC and SNAP needs. The ongoing legal battle has seen states like California, Wisconsin, Kansas, and Pennsylvania already issuing full SNAP benefits to some recipients, with officials from New York and New Jersey also confirming their actions to process benefits as funding became available. During a previous court hearing, Judge McConnell had accused the Trump administration of withholding SNAP benefits for political reasons, emphasizing the urgent need for timely assistance to families reliant on these benefits. He had ordered the government to utilize emergency funds to ensure SNAP payments were made on time for November, criticizing the administration's commitment to only partial funding. The Trump administration's response to the judge's accusations included a clarification that President Trump's comments about deferring SNAP funding until the government reopens were merely stating a fact, rather than leveraging the situation politically. The administration has continued to seek a ruling from the Circuit Court that would allow the USDA to proceed with partial payments for SNAP, arguing against the necessity of transferring billions from another safety net program. Judge McConnell had previously denied the government's request for a stay on his ruling, highlighting the unacceptable nature of delaying payments to those in need. As the legal proceedings continue, the implications for millions of Americans relying on SNAP benefits remain uncertain, with the potential for significant impacts on food security during this challenging time. The situation underscores the complex interplay between legal rulings, government funding, and the vital support systems in place for low-income families across the nation. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.